You're like only 5 years younger than me.
Really? Man, you should moisturize more.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best moments in the ongoing friendship of these former SNL stars.
I love you, Seth.
I love you too, buddy. This has been Seth and Andy.
Number 10, French pole vaulter. While interrupting an interview, Andy Samberg decides to break out his take on the French pole vaulter from the Paris 2024 Olympics. This includes a stereotypical outfit and a so bad it's good accent.
Well, obviously a bittersweet ending to your Olympic dream.
Oui, it was sad to not win the gold. But on the other hand, the entire world now saw my gift.
Samberg digs into the silly nature of this character, making plenty of double entendres and references to the athlete's appendage. The two engage in plenty of banter, with the host laughing off several of the more ridiculous jokes.
You see, the sum of my junk is quite grand, Seth. In French, grand means big. They are also grand English usage.
Samberg even brings out a baguette for some prop comedy. This sketch calls to mind the good old days of Weekend Update, letting the two work together to make each other chuckle.
Hey, this is a real dude, right? I mean, are these jokes okay?
I mean, if anyone can make jokes about people with huge dongs, it's a guy with a tiny one.
Surprised you're willing to admit that.
But I was talking about you!
Number 9, rejected Golden Globes jokes. After Andy Samberg hosted the Golden Globes, he went on Late Night with Seth Meyers to talk about the experience. He also brought a few jokes he didn't get to say at the ceremony. The host tries out the various movie references, random asides, and bits that work with varying degrees of success.
Crazy Rich Asians is up for 2 awards, and Crazy Rich White People are up for the remaining 200.
Ultimately, you get to listen as the two talk about comedy and writing, with Meyers being especially supportive. He laughs along and gives notes on his favorite options.
Don't cut any of these when you air this episode.
Well, here's how you'll know if we cut any. This one on the card says number 18. So if there are less than 18, that means there were ones worse than the worst one you saw.
This works as a fun behind-the-scenes look at how comedians work through their material. Even if you don't understand all the jokes, the two present an engaging segment that brings the audience into their unique friendship.
It was so much fun to watch you guys together. It's very fortunate that you guys found each other at the Emmys, because they were lucky to have you.
Well, that's nice.
Number 8, Confronting Seths Dog. Among the more compelling rivalries in talk show history, Andy Samberg continues to show that he does not like Seth Meyers' dog Frisbee. This comes out again in a segment discussing the guest's film Palm Springs.
Anyone who knows you and I know that you're not a fan of my dog Frisbee.
Right.
And basically my Instagram post was that Frisbee had no interest in seeing Palm Springs and said she would prefer to put her nose close to her butthole.
The host mentions that his pet doesn't have nice things to say about the film in an Instagram post, leading Samberg to make some disparaging and darkly funny remarks in response.
The picture of Frisbee, there was a moment when I first saw it where I was like, oh, yes! Because in the picture, it almost looks like Frisbee is dead, you know, has passed on, and is no longer with us, which to me was like, whoa, Seth liked the movie and the rat is dead.
It's all fun and games until Meyers brings his furry friend into the interview. While this might prompt some sort of apology, it's all undercut by a hilarious Post-it note message.
You can't listen to Seth. Don't look at the screen, Frisbee.
How did you have that ready?
I was gonna do it no matter what. Frisbee sucks, dude.
We can't wait to see how much farther this friendly fight goes in the future. Number 7, Andy puts Seth in the hot seat. For this remote conversation, Andy Samberg takes an opportunity to take over the show. He turns the interview around on Seth Meyers by putting the latter in the hot seat. This involves some unexpected questions, with most answers prompting deep dives into their personal and professional lives.
You and Alexa gonna have another baby?
I don't know. Maybe.
You're pretty chill about that.
Yeah.
It's also a humorous way for the two to connect on a serious and unserious level. Samberg asks Meyers about Saturday Night Live and even fictional hookups with the Lonely Island crew, with the host giving some memorable answers.
It's the hot seat you have to answer.
I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like Akiva would be the least needy.
Yeah. Also, least amount of hair, which for me is a plus.
Yeah.
And I think it's close between me and him, but smells the best.
The performers feel as if they're having a private conversation that we get to hear. They reveal their friendship here with both comedy and even some sincere moments.
It's for the internet, Seth. This doesn't matter.
It's on NBC.
It shouldn't be. Terrible. This is not good TV.
Number 6, a serious interview. Even when they try not to be funny, these two can't help themselves. Andy Samberg shows up on Seth Meyers' show to talk about his role in the film Lee. Since it's a serious movie, the host tries to give the film and Samberg's performance some support. This inspires the segment. Andy answers questions earnestly, and some normal questions about the guest's recent work.
How does it come about that you, Andy Samberg, find your way into a film that is this serious?
Thank you for asking me that normal question. I'm an actor.
While there is some giggling throughout, both parties pay their respects to a true story. Samberg generates laughs as he talks about looking like his real-life counterpart in the film and FaceTiming with Kate Winslet.
It's funny because I look like him. But he was a real person that did great things, and I was honored to play him.
Yeah.
And I also was like, I look so much like him. It's crazy.
It all leads up to the surprise diss of Meyers' dog, reminding everyone that the pair can't resist falling back on a timeless bit.
Your dog, Frisbee, is the most disgusting looking pile of like skeleton turds that are like shivering for some reason that I've ever seen in my life, and I know that everyone agrees with me.
Number 5, Andy and Seth clear the air. Despite the tense setup, the two decide to forgive each other by clearing the air. Seth Meyers talks about not having caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, prompting a funny comeback from Andy about the late night show.
If you had a show, I would watch it every night. I do have a show every night. You're on it right now. And it's on every night?
Samberg also brings up a chaotic trip to the airport and a crazy restaurant scheme. The latter allows the guest to bust out his bad impression of Meyers, elevating this sketch into wonderfully absurd territory.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Seth Meyers. You know me from SNL, the movie New Year's Eve. Follow me on Twitter at politicstelevisionman.com/Trump. What do you think of my impression?
Both performers feel at home here as they promote positive communication about outrageous actions. It's all played for laughs, with Samberg even showing off his artistic abilities.
It's got a little dinky hog. Do you know what I mean, Seth? Yeah, I get the hog's dinky. Oh, because yours is little. I get it.
These stories might not be true, but they do give the comedians a chance to clear the air before a heartwarming finale. Number 4, Andy roasts the Charmin Bears and Seth's dog. Unafraid to bring the heat, Andy Samberg is ready to do some comedic takedowns in this interview. The two discuss the possibility of the guest hosting and roll through a series of segment parodies. These include send-ups of late-night staples like Ya Burnt, allowing Samberg to unleash his thoughts on topics like the Charmin Bears.
Hey, Charmin Bears, I think you need to see a doctor. Nobody's supposed to spend that much time in the bathroom. IBS is a disease, not a personality.
It's a silly glimpse into the comedian's mind, with plenty of laughter from Meyers. The host also plays along with jokes at his and his own dog Frisbee's expense.
This is a dog. This is not a dog. This is the worst greyhound since the bus. If this dog took a dump, I wouldn't know which was which and flush them both down the toilet.
The guests' A Grosser Look features a pointed and comical attack on the pet's appearance and overall vibe. It's all fun and games here, making for some enjoyable setups and banter between the pair.
So, okay, you know how you do a closer look?
I do, yeah.
Number 3. Seth shows support for Andy's show. It's nice to know that two people have each other's backs in show business. For this clip, Seth Meyers takes a minute to celebrate Andy Samberg's show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming back, and it's an NBC show now. So exciting.
It's a rare minute of sincerity from two longtime friends. There's also the roar of the crowd that joins in to support the Stars project.
The best, yeah. Thanks, guys.
With Samberg's sitcom going from canceled to back on TV, the host wanted to shout out to the revival. You can tell that Meyers genuinely cares about his guest's success and wishes the best for his friend. This sincere moment tugs at your heartstrings, showing that even a comedy program can pause to salute a buddy.
Coming back after a near death of the show, like everyone appreciates it so much more. Where we're like, oh man, we get to keep hanging out!
Number 2, A Further Look. No stranger to helping out his old co-worker, Andy Samberg offers up some suggestions for his own take on Late Night with Seth Meyers. He suggests an altered version of A Closer Look, entitled A Further Look.
People in politics are mad, and everyone thinks that they're right, but the people on the other side of the issue that think that they're right. This has been A Further Look.
Samberg runs wild with plenty of jokes at his friend's expense, making for a great parody of the segment. The guest ramps up the humor with even more ideas that push the concept into even more meta territory.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, see, there's Washington D.C. and that's a lot farther than you're used to seeing it. I think we got another one here. Yes, that's like a satellite picture. That's even farther.
Along the way, the host giggles as he watches his fellow comedian roll through comical mistakes and technical difficulties. It goes farther when the third idea becomes a farthing look.
That's a farthing. And we're looking at it. That's from 1945, so that's a good one. This has been A Farthing Look.
With both buddies able to laugh at themselves, this is an extra special look into their relationship.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Seth interviews a mummy. Addressing a story about mummies, Seth Meyers enlists his old friend for some help. The idea leads to Samberg calling in as a disturbed mummy adjusting to his new life.
Oh yeah, it's really great to be here, Seth.
Are you okay? You seem like you might be in a really bad mood.
Oh, do I? Sorry. But, I just got woken up after 2,500 years of full-on snoozing.
Both performers embrace the silliness of this premise, letting logic and history fly out the window for comedy's sake. In this segment, you feel less like you're watching a television show and more like you're just catching two pals entertaining each other.
You remember reading about pharaohs who cleaned up their own camel? Because that was my job.
Okay, so it sounds like you were a servant.
Yeah, you think?
This all comes together in a gloriously fun skit that lets both performers do what they do best. After throwing in a subtle dig at Meyers' dog, Samberg even gets to unleash a goofy catchphrase for good measure. The joke interview encompasses many of the best parts of this friendly partnership.
That there will be those 2,500 years in the future who will live on the earth you leave. Oh!
What was that?
My doing fell off!
Did we forget another memorable bromance moment between these two? Let us know in the comments.
Frisbee with the Star of David? Yeah. Haven't we been through enough, Seth?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.